Hello, this is Khabir Southwick speaking to you from beautiful Ojai, California. I'm a whole food nutritionist, Ayurvedic practitioner, and herbalist practicing in Los Angeles County, Ventura County, and Santa Barbara. Today we're going to talk about the first steps in improving digestion. In Ayurveda, digestion is the most important subject. The diet is geared to improve digestion. Eating habits are there to improve digestion. Spices are used for improving digestion. So, in Ayurveda, we don't advocate the use of digestive enzymes or any type of replacement therapy for that matter. If the pancreas is not producing these enzymes, instead of giving the body the enzymes in form of an enzyme supplement, Ayurveda focuses on stimulating the pancreas to produce these enzymes, or stimulating the stomach acid to produce its acidic hydrochloric acid, peptic acids, without taking these acids or enzymes directly. So that's more of a naturopathic approach. This is the more of an herbal approach in dietary. So the first lesson in improving your digestion is actually very simple. It's not even what you eat, it's how you eat. And with hundreds and hundreds of patients that I've seen who have digestive problems, the initial or root cause is poor eating habits. Once again, not what they eat necessarily, but how they eat. Snacking, irregular eating, eating at different times every day, skipping meals, having breakfast one day, skipping it the next day, having lunch at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. This type of irregular eating is very difficult for the digestive system. I mean, the digestive system will improve its ability to digest your food, break down your food, have the enzymes ready, have the acids ready, if you present it with the food at the same time every day. If you look at animals, they do very well when they're fed at the same time. You cannot change the eating schedule on a horse, for example. This would be very difficult for their digestive system. And according to what I've heard from those who are veterinarians who work with animals, that animals have to be fed on a regular basis and consistently at the same time. But us humans, we're eating all over the place. We're eating at all different times, and we have a lot of poor eating habits. Standing while eating, this is a poor habit, and it really hampers our digestion. We should always sit, preferably even on the floor. Eating while driving, that's another bad habit. And eating too fast. This creates, of course, gas when we eat too quick. We don't break our food down enough, and it's a great burden for the digestive system to break it down. And if you see pieces of food in your stool, you know you're not chewing well enough, and or you have low stomach acids. So the first lesson I want to get to about improving digestion is to stop snacking and start eating at the same time. Snacking is very popular in our affluent society, where we have food everywhere we turn, everywhere we go. Everybody's offering us food and snacks, and it's only polite to give somebody a snack. But in fact, Grandma knows that snacking is not healthy. Grandma would not give you nuts or a piece of bread or a cookie before a meal, because she knew that your digestive capacity, so to speak, will be greatly diminished by the time dinner comes, and you may not even feel like eating. And then, of course, you may get hungry a little bit later and then eat at night, and we know that when we eat at night, this food isn't completely digested, and when it's not completely digested, some part of it becomes toxic, and there's a heaviness in the morning, and then you're not hungry in the morning, and the cycle continues with this irregular eating. So first is to stop eating at night. Then you'll be hungry in the morning. Try to eat around the same time in the morning. And after you have your meal, go do your life, go do your business, do what you need to do for 4 or 5 hours. And you shouldn't be thinking of food. If you're metabolizing body fat and using even the dietary fat that came from the meal, you shouldn't have cravings or hunger. These cravings are coming because in most cases, when people have been eating every couple hours and the body gets used to eating every couple hours and it demands to eat every couple hours and it refuses to be in fat metabolism. And this creates a certain nervousness, anxiety, and cravings, and you don't have that calm energy that comes when you're in true fat metabolism, when you can have a breakfast, go for 5 hours, not think of food, be very productive, and then become hungry around noon again. If you do feel hungry in between a meal, there is the perfect snack, and that is fruit. And each body type, of course, is recommended to have a different type of fruit, and you should pick that fruit according to your body type and digestive system. But most important here is we're talking about having your breakfast, no snacks except for fruit, having your lunch, then going from lunch all the way to dinner with no snacks except for some fruit. The only exception would be somebody who's underweight or thin or frail or a young child. Then you could increase this to 4 meals a day, or an athlete who's burning a high amount of calories can increase the carbohydrates and maybe have 4 meals a day to make up for that. But the important thing is there has to be space and time between the meals so the digestive system can rest, so the food can move from the stomach over to the small intestines and this absorption of nutrients can take place before you're throwing more food back in at the top. When you're eating nuts in the car, or any cookies, crackers, or biscuits, or anything in between a meal, when you're not hungry and you're just eating out of habit and the stomach acids aren't there, the hunger really isn't there, it's just emotional, then you're putting food into the system or in the stomach to be cooked and broken down and digested when the heat, the acids, and the are not there yet. They're not ready, and then it becomes heavy, becomes undigested, becomes toxic, and you can see how this creates a very vicious cycle. So this is why fasting or juice fasting is a way to reset the whole digestive system. So anybody who does any type of fasting or juice fasting afterwards should really focus on immediately going into a regular routine of having whether it's 2, 3, or 4 meals a day at the same time and putting space in between it. This will do much to improve your digestion. You'll enjoy food more. You'll be satisfied sooner. You'll be much more productive, not thinking or worrying about food for hours on end, and you won't feel hungry at night if you follow this simple advice. The second way to improve your digestion is through spices. All through time, spices were highly regarded. For example, cardamom was valued by the Greeks, the Romans, the Egyptians, and was a big part of the spice trade. You can put cardamom in milk to reduce the mucus effect. You could put cardamom in coffee to reduce the acidic effect. So all spices help with digestion and help with health, and they're often underused in our modern society. So to improve digestion, everybody should be using more spices. For the kapha type, they can use more stimulating spices like black pepper, chili, mustard seed, garlic powder, onion powder, these more stimulating spices. And the pitta can use the more cooling spices, cardamom, cumin, fennel, and the vata can use the spices that help to improve digestion and avoid bloating and gas and digestive discomfort, particularly cumin, coriander, ginger. These are very helpful. So, and all of these spices can be mixed with turmeric, and then you have curries and other seasonings that result by mixing these spices with turmeric, which is tridoshic, which means all doshas benefit from turmeric, and it helps improve the effects of all of these spices. And turmeric also helps to improve the absorption of nutrients and heal the intestinal villi inside of the small intestine. So turmeric is a very helpful spice for digestion as well. So adding the spices to your life, adding the spices to every meal based on your body type and your digestive system will also help your digestion tremendously. Now, if you're having serious digestive problems, pain and lots of gas and bloating and difficulty after meals with abdominal pain, Then of course you're going to want to cook all your vegetables. You're going to move away from animal proteins and have mung beans. You're going to do easy to digest grains like white basmati rice. So basically steamed or cooked root vegetables, or easy to digest vegetables, asparagus, zucchini, squash, that are well cooked with seasoning, and white basmati rice, mung beans, and a couple scoops of organic homemade yogurt to also help with digestion. That type of combination there will be very easy to digest even with somebody with serious digestive complaints, which we could, irritable bowel, leaky gut, these type of conditions where there's great difficulty in eating. They can go on this type of easy to digest mono diet, and this mono diet will in a sense reset the digestive system. Ayurveda of course has the dish khichdi, which is split mung beans, white basmati rice with some steamed vegetables and spices, and this can be done as a mono diet 2, 3, or 4 times a day at the same time, and if this is done for even a few days, this will help reset the digestive system. So once again, I hope this gives you some ideas on ways that you can improve your digestion. When you're young, in your 20s and the 30s, well, we can eat and irregular and eat a lot, eat a little, skip meals. But as we age and the digestive system gets a little more fatigued from the past abuses that it's had to undertake for so long, then this can start catching up to you, and you can start having digestive problems in the future. The main mistake most people make when they start having digestive problems, where say dairy starts bothering them but it wasn't before, or wheat starts bothering them and it wasn't before, is they start eliminating all these substances. People start eliminating whole categories of foods. People are eliminating all carbohydrates, all grains, all dairy, and all you're doing is accommodating your own bad digestion. Many clients come to me and the first thing they say is, I can't eat this, I can't eat that, it gives me discomfort. And after I improve their digestion in the manner in which we've just discussed here, stop snacking, eating more regular, easier to cook foods using spices and seasoning, then they find that they can add these foods back into their diet, and in fact they were never allergic to them. They just had degraded their digestive system due to poor eating habits for so long that they could no longer eat these hard to digest foods. So on a final note, I want to say that one of the worst habits I've seen for digestion is eating hard to digest foods in between meals when the body wasn't ready. And what would that include? Nuts. I see a lot of people having granola bars, nuts, granola, handfuls of nuts. And the nut is high in protein, it's very dense, it has fat in it, so it requires bile from the gallbladder, it requires all the digestive enzymes, and it requires a lot of stomach acids to break it down. So this is a very difficult to digest food, and people are having it in between meals or when they're not hungry driving a car, and this is surely going to deplete your digestive capacity and make it more difficult for you to digest your next meal. So once again, no nuts, crackers, cookies, protein bars, and all of these things in between the meals. If you're feeling a little hungry, have the appropriate fruit. And remember that you can always just drink water. We could live for days without food. So you're going to make it for another few more hours until the meal comes. And most cases, people are eating when they're actually thirsty because we don't drink enough. So have some tea, and you'll be just fine. And remember what Grandma said, no snacking before the meals. Wait for your dinner so you can be hungry and you can enjoy it. Thank you very much, and I hope that helped you to improve your digestion.